Hello neighbor, this is Curt with etrailer, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Benton Shifts and Grins platform bike rack and see how it fits with our 2024 Mazda CX-50. Now, if you watch this video and you decide this is the bike rack for you, you purchase it, you use it a few times, go ahead and share what you think about it in the comments below. We would love to share your experience with our other neighbors so they can make the best decision for themselves. Now, if you've been on the hunt for a platform bike rack that can do a lot of things for your CX-50, look no further than the Benton Shifts and Grins. The number one thing about this bike rack to me that really makes it different is the versatility. And the versatility of it really comes from this arm and hook assembly because it can be either wheel mounted or frame mounted. So if you have a bike with a carbon fiber frame or a custom paint job, you don't really want anything grabbing onto this, you would use the wheel mount as we did today, which is kind of the most popular way to do it. However, with a lot of bikes out there nowadays coming with fenders, that's not really going to be an option with the wheel mount. So what you would want to do is remove the hook, shift back our post, and attach it to the frame. So because we have the ability to do that, that really gives us the opportunity to use a lot of different styles of bike on this rack. So whether you're an enthused cyclist who maybe has a couple of different types of bikes that they like to take out, or you're always taking a friend with you, or maybe your friends have several different styles of bike, the Benton Shifts and Grins should be able to accommodate whatever you really need. But let's talk a little bit about how it fits on the CX-50. Now, the bike we have on here today is one of the larger frames that we actually have here at etrailer. It's got wider pedals, it's got about 15.5-inch handlebars. So if it's going to fit with this bike, it'll fit with most others that you'll come across. And as you can see, we got plenty of room between the vehicle and the bike. Even if we're on kind of a rougher road, there's really no danger of the bike making contact with the back of our vehicle. However, like with most platform bike racks, we are going to have some obstructions visibly in the back of the vehicle. One, you're in all likelihood going to see some of the bike coming through your rear window. Our tail lights are going to be partially obstructed, although you may be able to see them through the wheel spokes. But our license plate and, more importantly, our rear view camera are definitely going to be obstructed. So it's really important to know just what kind of footprint you're leaving behind your bumper. So we're going to measure from the bumper to the furthest part of the rack, and that brings us to right at 31 inches. So keep in mind, you got about an extra 2.5 feet back here that you're going to have to account for whenever you're trying to parallel park or back into a tighter space. The other thing that we like to take a look at is our ground clearance. So from the ground up, we are at 16.75 inches. That's a pretty decent amount of ground clearance, but it is something to keep in mind when you're coming up on a steep incline or driveway. Now, the Benton Shifts and Grins can accommodate bikes up to 55 pounds per tray. So that's going to include some of your e-bikes out there. But since there is no ramp that you can add to this, make sure that whatever your bike weighs, you're going to be comfortable lifting it about 21 inches to get it on and off your rack. Now, one of the most common questions that we come across whenever we're talking about a platform bike rack is, will you have access to your lift gate? And with the Shifts and Grins, we do have a tilt-away feature. We're going to brace the bike so it doesn't fall down too quickly on us. And we're just going to push in this button right here, and we're going to lower it away from the vehicle. Now we'll be able to come over and access our lift gate. And as you can see, even with this bigger frame bike, we have plenty of clearance. But now, without removing the bike, I can get in, I can gather up other equipment, maybe get some water, grab different shoes, helmet, whatever it might be. Or maybe if on the way home from the trail, you decide that you want to stop at the store and pick some things up, now we can get in and out of our cargo area without any issues and without removing the bike from the rack. And in order to get it back into the riding position, we don't have to engage that button. We just need to come down, brace it, and lift against it until we hear that click. The button will pop back out, and now we're back to being locked in to our riding position. And getting the bike on and off the rack is a really simple process. There are 3 points of contact. We had mentioned the arm and hook and how that works earlier, but we also have 2 locking straps with a rubber pad, one for each wheel. That rubber pad's going to help protect your wheels. But in order to remove the bike, we're going to undo the wheel straps first. We always want to leave the arm and hook up there to keep the bike upright while we're doing this. So we're just going to depress this little tab on the side, release our strap, feed it through the spokes, and clear it out the other side. We're going to do the same thing on our front wheel. Feed it right through the other side. Now we can hold on to the bike, depress the button that's here on our hook, lift it up and out of the way, clear the wheel, and now we can remove our bike easily. So now with it off, we can either store it away or hit the trail. Okay, so what do we do when we want to drive around without the bike on here? Well, this is, the Benton Shifts and Grins rather, is a powder-coated steel. So while that makes it extremely durable and corrosion resistant, it also makes it heavy. The rack itself weighs over 60 pounds, so if you're not driving around with your bike on it, it's probably not something you want to uninstall and reinstall every time you're out to use it. It does have a stowaway position. We're going to engage this same button that we did for the tilt-away, but instead of letting it fall, we're going to lift up against it and pop it up into place here. Now, we can take a measurement, and we've got the rack down to about 17¼ inches, so that almost cuts that footprint in half back here, but it's going to make it significantly easier for you to back in and out of those smaller spaces. The other thing too is with the bike off and up in this position, we're going to have clear view out of our rear window. Other drivers are going to clearly see our tail lights. Our license plate is still partially obstructed, and we're probably going to get some obstruction coming out of our rear view camera as well. So it is important to be mindful of just how much is going on back here behind your bumper. But with all that being said, with the versatility and everything that you're getting out of the Shifts and Grins, I do think this is an excellent choice for you and your Mazda CX-50. I'm Curt with eTrailer. Thanks for stopping by.